So it's been a month since I began posting Among Us content, and admittedly at the moment it does seem like the game's relevancy seems to be dwindling. But I thought in spite of that, I'd still upload a special Among Us retroactively episode to celebrate 1 month, even though it's a minor milestone. I believe looking back is an important process of acknowledgement, particularly when it comes to focusing on one's roots. And like many, I got into this game last year during the quarantine, largely thanks to some really amazing and oftentimes hysterically entertaining streamers. For me in particular, my first exposure to Among Us was thanks to this lovably loud, meme manic, coffee drinking Irish toss boy that you might know. The simple mechanics of the game, coupled with the need for astute observation and skillful deception, hooked me instantly. But in Mr. Septic Eye's videos, there was a recurring figure who was making bold and calculated imposter plays, and he happened to also have a pretty fantastic voice to sway people with.
What up, baby?
Corpse Husband is wildly and deservingly held in high regard for his talents, which do include his Among Us capabilities, so I won't gush about him more than I'm already going to. But I have to say that when I finally tried Among Us for myself, it was only after literal hours of studying and rewatching his methods and tactics, because they resonated so much with me. And I thought it would be remiss of me to be retrospective for this episode if I didn't acknowledge how his gameplay served as a major foundation for my own imposter playstyle. As such, I want to go through just 6 of Corpse's imposter plays that I feel are definitive moments that highlight what makes being an imposter so much fun, as well as showing how to, well, successfully go about killing people and then getting away with it. Now, of course, this video is going to be highly subjective, so I want to make it very clear this is not a ranking analysis in some way, and I am not somehow saying that Corpse is the best imposter of all time, complete with capital letters. I also do realize that some of the things I'm about to say may not be 100% accurate because they're impressions that I got just watching other people's gaming experiences. I'm just paying homage after months of playing Among Us to a young man who inadvertently became a kind of teacher for me. So with that mushy crap aside, let's get started.
Ran away. I escaped.
Wait, wait, wait,
You're
wait.
the hero of
Oh
this.
my god.
We're all crewmates.
Corpse,
All crewmates. It's
Yes.
a bug.
are you imposter?
Yeah.
What
Oh,
the?
what?
Whether we like it or not, first impressions can be a make it or break it deal. And Corpse certainly made a hell of a one to both viewers and the people he would come to be great friends with. I'm a huge fan of the trope of taking refuge in audacity, which Corpse absolutely did here. But the context surrounding this confession makes it all the more remarkable. At this point in time, pretty much all the other players here have very little idea of what to expect from Corpse. And PewDiePie had already cast doubt on Corpse by suggesting that he was menacingly trying to murder him while following him up right side. So when Lily asks,
Are you imposter?
he practically doubles down on everybody's uncertainty to throw them off with some beautiful reverse psychology. More than that, however, is the speed and tone of his response.
Are you imposter?
Yeah.
In the space of 2 blinks, Corpse affirms he's the imposter in the calmest, most nonchalant voice, instead of, say, backtracking or hesitating, or even playing it off with some kind of sarcasm. In fact, I'm pretty sure answering in the negative would have prompted sarcasm from Pewds and solidified more suspicion against Corpse here. Instead, doubt and uncertainty overpowered the rest of them to the point where Corpse was never sussed again for the rest of this game. This moment highlights 2 qualities a good imposter should have: decisiveness and vocal control. With such a rapid and concise response, Corpse showed a readiness to take risk and play some sick mind games that I could fully get behind.
Let's stack. This is awful. There's nothing I could do. I'm fucked.
Jack? Guys? Guys! Guys! Yeah, go, Jack, go.
I fucking hate this. I hate you all. I hate you all.
Yeah, go do it. I'll go to the top one. This is perfect. How many seconds do we...
Now, decisiveness in desperate moments always seem like, and pretty much are crapshoots. However, I've personally felt that even if things are likely to fall apart, they might not work out, they're likely going to make you seem like a fool at the end, it's still better to set a course of action and accept whatever the consequences might be than to be paralyzed into stagnation. Although this worked out in Corpse's favor here, and it was absolutely largely dependent on luck in the form of the other player's choices of movement, the fact that he called O2 as a sabotage was an excellent decision. Reactor wouldn't have had the relative distance between fixes necessary for this to have worked out, and Corpse pulling the trigger on Toast was an excellent chance to take that ended with near perfect timing. Now, even if Sykkuno were a second quicker to start the 50-50, it would have absolutely been torturous for Sean, and given how familiar they were at this point, I could totally see Sean voting for himself just for the lulz, and refusing to condemn either of his besties. So that probably would have still worked out in Corpse's favor. A good imposter creates these opportunities to capitalize on, no matter how thin the opening towards victory might be. And that's exactly what he did there, even though he knew and agonized over the fact that he had very little chance of succeeding.
Okay. I don't think it's Lily at all now.
Okay, alright.
I think it's Toast.
Toast is
I
trying
saw
to
him
read me right
leaving
now.
that crime scene.
Toast is
And
trying to read
then-
me right now.
Lights, he was the only one that I didn't see.
I won't allow it to happen. He's gonna ask me to say something. He wants me to jump
I
on
don't
it.
think it's Brooke either.
Alright, you guys want to kill Jaden?
Maybe. I'm more
Wait.
open to that one.
Possibly.
Possibly,
Okay.
yeah.
Give me a solid, stable group of friends over Pugs any day of the week for the camaraderie, for the lightheartedness, just please. However, the danger of playing with the same people over and over is having them learn all of your tells and your habits, but it does encourage adaptability and trying out new strategies. It also emphasizes an aspect of playing Impostor that I think is overlooked by a lot of casual players. Rather than just obsess over killing people or crafting lies like a snake, it's equally important to read your opponents, and that's a very difficult thing to do a lot of the time. But then there's trying to read this guy's Toast. Toast has often been referred to as the king of Among Us, appropriately so. And for Corpse, somebody like Toast is almost always either going to be his greatest asset or his deadliest enemy. Corpse's concern about Toast borders paranoia at times, but rightfully. And in this case, I feel Corpse very successfully grasped Toast's thought processes, most notably here, when he was the only one to vote Lily in this meeting.
You guys trust Lily?
I actually voted Lily.
Oh. You guys trusted Lily.
I did.
You guys trusted Lily. The lights killer.
Lily the light
You
killer.
trusted the lights killer with 4 dead lights body.
This bought him a critical round away from Toast's scrutiny until it was too late for the crewmates, since Corpse decided to keep Brooke alive at the end, since she was, I believe, initially being scapegoated by Toast in an attempt to draw out the imposters earlier in the game. Corpse ended up using this to his advantage to win the 50-50 against Toast. Along with the fact that he correctly guessed that Toast was on admin table playing detective, Corpse demonstrated why it's important to also be vigilant and observant about what goes on beyond the screen.
All of them. How do you vent into admin? Did I get away with that?
Corpse's vent kills are a staple of his imposter gameplay, and several of these kills have reached an almost legendary infamy. While I do have to give an honorable mention to the vent killing of Pokimane on Mira, just because of Valkyrie's downright delightful...
How dare you! I cannot believe the audacity!
I have to come back to this specific kill of Felix on Skeld near Jack, Saikuno, and Toast. Now, like the Poke kill, Corpse pulled this off while remaining just barely outside of crewmate vision, which is already notable unto itself. But for me, what makes this particular vent kill special is the preparation and foresight involved. Corpse notes here that several of them are entering admin while checking cams, and one of them happens to be Dave. At this point, Ray, who's his partner for the game, is already under heavy sus, and she attempted to deflect it onto Dave by killing Pokey earlier. Now the kill itself is already very impressive, but by making this calculated move, Corpse fulfills several objectives. He eliminates another crewmate, he suggests some sort of treachery between either Saikuno or Toast, and most importantly of all, he casts doubt on whether Ray or Dave is the more sus. In other words, Corpse is actively looking out for his imposter partner without directly defending her. Imposters tend to operate independently, so it was really rare for me to have seen such a well-executed consideration for somebody else.
Good job.
I was sus of Ray the whole game, but until that moment, I saw
Good
Corpse
job,
on
Ray.
top of.
No, she
Abe.
won. It's.
Trust your gut, Andy.
Listen to her. Listen to how happy she sounds, dude.
I'm happy because I wasn't off the stack. There's no way. It's impossible for it to be me.
I got the report button. I pressed it. I don't know.
Yeah, because you weren't doing the lights. You were busy killing.
Opened it for a second, closed it, reported.
Oh man. Trusting the gut here. Oh, wait.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was... You're a genius. Holy shit.
Oh my god, Corpse is too good!
Yes.
He's too good! He knew!
Yes.
What
Wait,
the-
Corpse, you're a genius! What the hell?
Let's face it, being an imposter is hard. I know a lot of people always want to be imposter, myself included, but just as much people never want to be imposter. Now, no matter what side of the coin you're on, the expectations that are placed on an imposter are much higher. We catch a lot more flack and have to do a little bit more mental gymnastics in an imposter round, so it's critical that imposters have a fundamental quality: confidence. Nowhere does Corpse display this more to me than when tying the vote against Ray and Andy. Could it have backfired and turned him into a sheepish mess? Absolutely, it was a 50-50 and his reputation was well established by this point. But look at exactly when he makes this vote on Andy.
You saw I was not on the lights, and we...
This to me was not hubris. I can't even call it certainty, because who can really claim to have 100% accuracy of an opponent's move? Instead, I think the most appropriate word here is faith. He had faith in his play, he had faith in his words, he had faith in the outcome that he wanted. And this is especially meaningful if you consider how Corpse sometimes suffers from self-esteem and self-image issues. It was a bold and daring move that many had never seen up to this point, the other players in the round included. So I guess along with confidence, we can also say that a good imposter wields a flair for the dramatic. Style points indeed.
Fuck my life, dude.
Time to kill.
I'm AFK. I'm not here.
Are you?
Did I just throw that?
Leslie?
What the?
Let's look at that again, slower and up close.
Are you?
Months before the role even existed, Corpse was a swooper. Now this, in my opinion, is the ideal situation that an imposter wants to create. Pure, unadulterated chaos.
Lights turn off, and then there's a dead body, and she's running around like a headless chicken.
Because I'm trying to find out who the hell it was.
Wait,
It's a
hang on,
self-report or it's you,
Sykkuno.
Sykkuno.
Huh?
Did you see it happen?
I didn't
No.
see it happen, but she was in front of us, right? And it
Yeah.
was right there.
Well, here's the thing, Sykkuno. I'm a little to your left as well.
Yeah.
And I didn't see her do it.
Wait,
I didn't
how
see her
you?
do it, but
Wait,
Sykkuno.
how
was
come
there.
you guys
It could be
aren't-
Sykkuno.
That-
Or
no, that's Lee. Wait, it's neither of us. It's pink or brown.
Everybody's pointing fingers at everybody else, dust is being kicked up everywhere, and all you have to do is sit back and enjoy the fireworks. I definitely question Corpse's decision to be walking back up and left, and it was damn lucky no one noticed the beginning of his name before the meeting came up. But this kill still remains one that I always hope to replicate in any imposter game for its sheer domino effect. It led up to everybody wasting their buttons, and it also created an insurance at the end of the game when the light sabotage was still in effect, and nobody could do anything until his cooldown finally ran out. Muselk, who was understandably peeved, put it best.
Corpse killed me in front of all of you, and you all started
Oh, no
accusing each
wonder.
other.
Corpse's success as imposter is not due to win rate, and he certainly made his fair share of silly mistakes like any Among Us player, famous or otherwise. But to me, his methodical nature, his calculated precision, and his patience when playing makes him worthy of being admired and emulated. And it's been really fun trying to incorporate all these little tricks and tactics into my own playstyle. Remember, these are just all my opinions, which I really wanted to get out there before Among Us leaves our spotlight for good. I'd be more than happy to hear what you guys think, how you feel about his gameplay, or about other players' gameplay, and we can compare notes. And of course, if you're still interested in Among Us, I look forward to hopefully playing with some of you and seeing you at the end of my knife.